The Coachella Valley Firebirds hit the ice for training yesterday here in the Valley, and there's a player update for you this morning. Firebirds captain, forward Max McCormick, set to undergo hip surgery and will miss the entire 2025-26 hockey season. The 33-year-old leaves a major mark on the young franchise, holding team records for most points and goals while helping lead the Firebirds to back-to-back Western Conference titles. He's also a two-time AHL All-Star and has appeared in more than 500 AHL games and nearly 100 in the NHL with the Ottawa Senators, Carolina Hurricanes, and the Seattle Kraken. McCormick re-signed with the Kraken last summer, but his injury sidelines one of the Firebirds' most accomplished players as they enter the new season. A new police substation opens in downtown Palm Springs today. The grand opening is happening this evening. The public is invited to tour the facility from 5 to 7 on Museum Drive. You can also meet local officers, enjoy some refreshments. You can take a guided tour of the facility, and there will be live music as well. The police department saying the new substation is designed to give residents, businesses, and visitors easier access to services in the heart of downtown Palm Springs and provide a local resource for reporting crimes and connecting with the police. A two-day study tour on substance use disorder treatment is underway at the Ranch Recovery Center in Desert Hot Springs. Local health experts hosting medical professionals all the way from Japan. Our NBC Palm Springs' Brett Rosen reports.
Today, many questions answered at the Ranch Recovery Center. The two-day study tour has brought in several medical professionals from different parts of Japan. Where in Japan are you from? This is Yoichi Nakata, one of many psychiatrists who made the roughly 6,000-mile trip to learn about the different treatments for those with substance abuse issues. Nakata says he himself is a recovering alcoholic, and that the biggest difference between Japan and the United States is many do not want to admit to having a substance use problem.
Yeah, treatment of addiction is so advanced in this country compared to Japan. So there's a lot of the medications, so you can curb the craving. In this country, they are coming out as they recover from the addiction or alcoholism. But in Japan, it's still something to hide.
The Recovery Center CEO, Rick Mesa, says the workshop is about using what they know about substance abuse and recovery to help not just the Valley, but the outside world.
We're here in the Coachella Valley, and we get in this vacuum and forget there are other people who have this, who suffer from this. We get a great sense of, I guess, gratitude for what we have.
Nagata says when he goes home, he wants to focus on how substance abuse and mental health issues are linked together.
Yeah, from my experience, I treat a lot of people with addiction and alcoholism, and then as I treated them, then the second disorder is coming up. So those are the things that I want to really focus on.
Here in Desert Hot Springs, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
We'll go ahead and take a live look outside on this Tuesday morning, show you downtown Palm Springs. Nothing but blue skies out there, a little windy in parts of the desert this morning and overnight, but those conditions great as we continue to inch our way through the work week, and none of that rain that we saw this weekend. For the latest on our three-day forecast, we'll go ahead and check in with meteorologist Jerry Steffen, who's been tracking all those details.
We're almost done with the month of September, and on our calendar, as far as above and below normal numbers, only 7 were above, the majority below normal. And we'll see temperatures that'll be close to normal the next couple of afternoons. Nothing in radar over the southwest. Yeah, we're clean in that department, and we'll stay that way over the next several days. No rain in our near future. But temps today, basically middle 90s for us in the Coachella Valley. Near normal stuff, plenty of sunshine and drier air in our forecast. Comfort Air, 3-day forecast, middle 90s today, plenty of sunshine, about the same for tomorrow. And Thursday, few high clouds early in the day, but upper 90s, but staying away from triple digits. Full forecast and look at that 7-day minutes away.
All right, it was a night to remember over at Acrisure Arena. Sir Paul McCartney taking the stage last night to a packed crowd for his Got Back tour. He He opened with Help, and he went deep into some Beatles and Solos classic, too, from Drive My Car to Blackbird, Let It Be, and Hey Jude. An amazing nostalgic trip through his legendary catalog. So many fans from the desert. We spoke to some last night in our 5 and 6 p.m. newscast who have seen him multiple times here in the desert. Excited to see him take the stage once again. Now from here, Paul McCartney will stop in Las Vegas, Denver, and New Orleans before his final 2 shows in Chicago in November. For Acrisure Arena, McCartney's show is just the first of 7 events in 12 days. There's a full lineup. You can see The Who, the Lakers, Blink-182, Maroon 5, the Firebirds home opener as well. So a lot of fun coming to the desert, and Paul McCartney helping to kick it all off last night. Meanwhile, the annual Highway 62 Open Studio Art Tours start this weekend. There are self-guided tours showcasing over 150 art studios and artists across the Joshua Tree region. The collective exhibit allows locals to engage directly with artists, explore the unique fusion of nature and creativity, and even purchase the artwork. Here's a closer look at one of the artists that will be showcased this weekend.
I did the typewriter art because it was so familiar to me. I grew up in a family business of typewriters, sales and repair. So I'm 3rd generation, and it really was natural for me to photograph them like family portraits. And I love equipment. I'm a gearhead girl. So anyway, I did the typewriters and then the cameras, radios, and televisions with this whole mid-century theme. Well, then once I kind of brought that here and continued, I realized it really fit, especially Palm Springs with their modernism theme that is so pervasive. So I was very well received with that. And I just continued to expand on these natural themes of mine. And I find my people through an authentic expression.
Some very cool pieces there. Visitors are encouraged to plan itineraries in advance of their visit. For more information on the events, you can visit highway62arttours.org. The Palm Springs Revolution Stage Company will open their doors for a 3rd season. This starts on Thursday. Revolution founder Gary Powers is ready to welcome back theatergoers with an impressive lineup.
Well, this is our 3rd season. We, of course, are starting Cabaret Ride again, which is a popular cabaret contest. That starts on October 6th. We have Tim Mulligan, who presented a play the 1st season called Witchland that went to off-Broadway. Now he's bringing a play that just played off-Broadway this past spring called Point Loma. That starts on Thursday, October 2nd. 6 performances. We have the musical Evil Dead coming. Paul Crane, who won Cabaret Ride this past season, is doing his own show on October 17th. Next month, October, we have Rent coming, the musical Rent. We have a lot of great things coming up this season.
That event schedule and tickets can be found at revolutionstagecompany.com. And Village Fest in Palm Springs kicks off its fall hours starting this Thursday. The Valley's most popular street fair starts 1 hour earlier at 6 o'clock. You can enjoy food, entertainment, local artisans, a farmer's market lining Palm Canyon Drive, all supporting local businesses and artists here in the Coachella Valley. Still ahead on your midday news, the likelihood of a government shutdown is closing in by the hour after President Trump and congressional leaders met yesterday, leaving with no deal. We'll have details after the break. And let's take a live look outside our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera on this gorgeous Tuesday morning. That full forecast is still ahead, so stay with us.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about. Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 11.
Welcome back. In Washington this morning, all signs are pointing toward a government shutdown just after midnight tonight. President Trump and congressional leaders from both parties held a face-to-face meeting yesterday at the White House, but they left with no compromise and with time running out. NBC's Alice Barr is in Washington with all the latest developments.
On the final day before a government shutdown, hope is fading for a compromise.
I think we're headed to a shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing.
The two parties trading blame after the top four congressional leaders met with President Trump and Vice President Vance.
Their bill has not one iota of Democratic input. That is never how we've done this before.
Republicans adamant Senate Democrats should sign on to the short-term funding bill that passed the House without requiring bipartisan support.
There's nothing partisan in here. No policy riders, none of our big party preferences.
Democrats are holding out to reverse health care cuts and extend Obamacare's subsidies set to expire at the end of the year, and say they don't trust GOP promises to take the issue up later.
When they say later, they mean never. We have to do it now.
President Trump has said a shutdown could bring mass firings of federal workers.
We may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats.
Last night, the president posted a fake video with a sombrero edited onto Hakeem Jeffries, the top Democrat in the House, while the Senate's top Democrat, Chuck Schumer, delivers a manipulated, likely AI-generated speech. Schumer responded to the president, "If you think your shutdown is a joke, it proves you can't negotiate, you can only throw tantrums." While Jeffries said, quote, "Bigotry will get you nowhere." The sharp words further sign of how far apart the two sides are as federal workers wait to hear if their paychecks will stop.
We are very, very concerned about the next few days, very stressed, very anxious.
In a looming shutdown. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Now, federal workers are paid back after a shutdown ends, though short-term needs and the risk of permanent job loss are heightening the stress. Today, Senate Republicans are set to advance a measure to keep the government open temporarily. It would need at least 8 Democrats to pass, and at this point seems fairly unlikely. The state of Louisiana has issued an arrest warrant for a California doctor. The doctor is accused of mailing abortion pills to a patient in the state. A warrant for the arrest of that doctor is a rare charge of violating one of the state abortion bans that has taken effect since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022. The warrant comes in a growing legal battle between both liberal and conservative states over prescribing abortion pills and mailing them to patients out of state. Pills are the most common ways that abortions are accessed in the U.S. and are a major reason abortion numbers rose last year. But along with that, abortions performed in clinics are decreasing across the country. They declined by 5% in the first half of this year, and the drop comes 3 years after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. It's not exactly clear what has caused the decline. There are likely a number of factors at play. The number of abortions dropping most in states that implemented bans after 6 weeks of pregnancy and in states bordering those with total bans. Also, Florida used to account for 1 in 3 abortions in the South. The number of procedures performed there fell 27% after the state's 6-week ban took effect last May. That accounts for more than 40% of the national drop. A woman named Annie Farmer, who's a California native, is speaking out about the release of the Epstein files. Farmer says she was just 16 years old when she first suffered abuse at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, as she continues to fight for justice, Farmer is demanding accountability from lawmakers and calling for the full release of the Epstein files.
I had the opportunity to go to D.C. earlier this month to meet with Congressman Garcia and other members of the House Oversight Committee. Unfortunately, it became immediately clear that while there are both Democrats and Republicans standing with us, there is immense pressure from top government officials to not bring the Epstein Transparency Act up for a vote.
Farmer continued to say that if the government won't bring the act up to a vote, it's up to the survivors to demand accountability and transparency. And President Trump says homeless people with mental issues are a public safety threat. His goal is to place them into long-term institutions. President Trump says he supports reopening psychiatric hospitals and expanding forced treatment for people with severe mental illness. His July executive order urges states to commit individuals considered a danger to themselves or others and to grow outpatient programs offering medication and intensive services. Experts warn the plan faces some serious hurdles. Psychiatric beds and treatment workers are already in short supply, and cuts to Medicaid, housing assistance, and mental health programs could undermine his goals. Go ahead and take a live look outside our Agua Caliente casino camera in Rancho Mirage on this Tuesday evening. Camera shaking just a little bit. We saw some gusty wind here in the valley overnight and this morning. But what about for the next 7 days? We have Jerry Steffen in right after the break to tell us more about it.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter.
Yes, Yesterday, near normal numbers in the valley, plenty of sunshine, a little bit of humidity yesterday, but 96 degrees. The high yesterday in Palm Springs, 97 is our normal, and we'll be close to normal this afternoon. We do have disturbances to the north of us. That'll kick up the winds a little later on today, but for the most part, sunshine for us around Riverside County and the Coachella Valley this afternoon. But onshore winds will kick up because of that disturbance later today. That disturbance will stay to the north of us, so any rain will stay out of the Coachella Valley. Winds strongest later today around the San Gorgonio Pass in Desert Hot Springs, upper 20, low 30-mile-an-hour sustained winds there. And the wind-prone areas in the Coachella Valley could get some gusty winds late in the day, but not all that bad. That backs off on Wednesday into Thursday. Surface moisture, that comes down since yesterday's 60-degree dew points. We'll see 40-degree dew points over the next few days, and the driest 2 days in our immediate future, Wednesday and Thursday, with middle-of-the-day relative humidity in the teens. Temps today, 94 degrees under sunshine in Palm Springs, 95,000 Palms, 96 at Indio, 92, 29 Palms, 83 at Cabazon. And then tonight, temperatures in the upper 60s, lower 70s. That's where we'll bottom out in the Coachella Valley tonight under totally clear skies. Now, tomorrow, that trough of low pressure begins to exit the area. Winds begin to back off. Still drier air moves into the area, but still middle 90s for most of us under sunshine. That'll be on Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday's highs, 95 degrees in Palm Springs, 96,000 Palms, 98 at Palm Desert, and getting close to 100 degrees, but staying away from that century mark. 97 Thursday, mostly sunny skies, Palm Springs, 98 at Indio. Any rain over the next 7 days? Yeah, nothing for us in Southern California. It all stays well to the north of us. Okay, Comfort Air 7-day forecast, middle 90s today and tomorrow with drier air in place. Getting close to 100 degrees, lots of upper 90s on Thursday, beginning with a few high clouds clearing out late in the day. Then the numbers begin to back off. Friday, 93, 90 degrees on Saturday, upper 80s, possible Monday of next week.
On today's Desert Living, with fall underway and winter just around the corner, many of us are already thinking about that next sun-soaked getaway. Joining us now to show why an off-season cruise might just be the trip you're looking for is the editor-in-chief of Cruise Critic, travel expert Colleen McDaniel. Welcome, Colleen.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Brian.
Right. So why is cruising the best vacation option for fall and winter, and what can we expect to experience while on board?
Yeah, fall and winter are great times to cruise, in part because you'll find fewer crowds in some of the destinations that the ships visit. This means easier access to popular sites and experiences that are often more crowded during the peak season. Off-season also tends to offer lower rates. For example, Norwegian Cruise Line is offering 70% off the second guest on all cruises. And this is combinable with its More at Sea offer, which includes unlimited open bar, specialty dining, Wi-Fi, and more. Cruising is my favorite vacation, of course, because it offers stress-free flexibility. You can visit multiple destinations, hit the go-kart racetrack on board, try out the spa, all while unpacking just once.
What are the hottest destinations to sail to this season?
Getting away during the fall and winter is especially enticing for people who live in colder spots, but it's also great for anybody who wants to get away, relax, and escape ahead of the really busy and sometimes stressful end-of-the-year activities. This off-season, look to heat things up in destinations like the Mexican Riviera, the Bahamas, and the Caribbean. Now, the Mexican Riviera is a really great option for people who are living on the West Coast because it stops in places like Puerto Vallarta and Cabo San Lucas. In fact, Norwegian Cruise Line has 2 ships that are sailing from California, including Norwegian Bliss, which sails from Los Angeles, and Norwegian Jade, which sails from San Diego.
These images are unreal. Now, many families are probably looking to stretch their vacation budgets these days. How can they get the most value for their dollar on a cruise right now?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head with this one. Value is especially important for families. And with more inclusive pricings versus similar land-based vacation, cruising remains the best value for your vacation dollar. Your cruise is going to include excellent food, great entertainment, and activities all day well into the night. Cruising also offers staterooms across a wide variety of budgets. And this is especially important for those multi-generational families who are traveling together. Parents might pick a balcony cabin that they share with their children, or they might get connecting cabins, while the grandparents might opt for a suite or even a room in a suite complex, like Norwegian's The Haven, which comes with exclusive perks and spaces.
Sounds so good. Now, where can we go for more information?
To read real reviews from real cruisers, visit cruisecritic.com, celebrating its 30th anniversary. And to find out more about the destinations and the cruises I mentioned, visit ncl.com.
Sounds great. Well, thank you, Colleen. We greatly appreciate the information, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Before we go, meet Elroy Morgan. He's from Maine. He's no stranger to growing some big pumpkins. Morgan cites heating the ground and making sure greenhouse and soil cables are all in place to make the big pumpkins a success. While he set up irrigation, the summer's drought posed a challenge, but he still plans to drop off one of his pumpkins in front of a Chick-fil-A. It'll be part of a Guess the Weight contest. He says he's grown some that have been over 2,700 pounds. All right, that's a big pumpkin, a lot of pumpkin pie. We have more news for you at 5 and 6 tonight. We'll